Hi everyone and welcome to the Recreateful channel. My name is Divya and I do all sorts of sewing, DIY and upcycling videos. Today's video is going to be extremely exciting because I am going to, drumroll please, recreate the wedding dress of the century, which is Ariana Grande's wedding dress. As soon as the pictures of her wedding dress have been released, I just knew I had to recreate it as it's super gorgeous. Not that I'm getting married anytime soon or know anyone that will, but I just really wanted to. Even despite the fact that some other much more successful YouTuber will do a video about this that is going to be much better and much more entertaining. Micarah Tewers. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a professional, I'm fully self-taught, I do sewing for fun and I try lots of different things all the time, and of course my recreation is not going to be exact or anywhere near the quality and amazingness of the original from Vera Wang. I do not intend to step on anyone's toes, I'm just here for the fun of it. Enough said, let's make a wedding dress. I found this amazing Indian fabric shop online. They had such a great choice of fabric and the prices were actually shockingly low. I got 3 meters of this cream satin, which I only paid £11.50 for. It was exactly what I was looking for, as to me the original doesn't look like classic white and the drape of this satin is really nice and flowy. The very first thing that I do when it comes to recreating things I found online is obviously looking at the pictures and trying to gauge where the seams are and how the whole dress has been constructed. With the pictures of this dress, it was a little more difficult as there's a filter on them and they never show the dress in full. However, what I was able to gauge is that the bodice of the dress is basically a bra and it has got that little feature in the cup where it dips in and out. It also becomes apparent that I have to give that whole bra cup bustier style another chance. It also seems as if there is no zipper on the dress, which could be the case because of the back cowl. It does give some room to go in and out of the dress, so I will be trying to construct this dress without a zipper. Fingers crossed. You can also see that there is a slip on one side of the dress, and I'm assuming that this would be mirrored on the other side as well, so I'm going to have 2 back slips. And it also seems as if the skirt part of the front of the dress has no seams at all, so it's one big piece. However, the back is divided in 3 different pieces. And it also seems as if the closure of the dress is purely just the bra opening at the back. So yeah, basically I draft a little bit of a drawing of the dress, and then off my drawing I create roughly the shapes of the patterns that I think I will need. And in that case it was the 1 front panel for the skirt, the 3 back panels for the skirt part as well, the back cowl, as well as the 2 pieces of cups twice of course, and then the bodice part which holds the cups, as well as the 2 strips in the back. So these are the patterns that I came up with. I am not sure if this is accurate or not. I'm basically taking it at face value and this is what the dress looks like to me. I don't know if this is right or not, but I'm sure we can make it work. For the skirt, I started by taking my measurements under the bust, waist and hips and the distances between the 3 and the overall length that I would need. I transfer these onto the fabric and cut my front piece out. I use the front piece to trace the back piece but make it a bit wider, as I then cut my skirt into 3 different parts and therefore need lots of seam allowance. I make sure to press the seams and leaving the slits open. I attach my skirt pieces together and cut off the excess fabric. So it is the next day, and yesterday I managed to complete 2 of these skirt pieces. I now need to hem the bottoms, which I'm a little bit scared about. I need to create the back cowl and then I can attach the lining to the outer layer and the skirt part would then be done. So I've tested the fabric a little bit with the scraps I had left over, and I realized that for the back cowl I need to basically just cut out 1 strip on the bias of the fabric, because it drapes much nicer and flawlessly if you cut it on the bias than not. So this is basically a piece that is not cut and folded on the bias, and as you can see there's these little corners in there that don't look really flowy and nice. However, if you cut it on the bias, which this is the bias, the stretchy part of the fabric, and iron along the edge, you get this really nice, round, lovely cowl. I actually am so surprised and I love this so much. So basically, yeah, I will be cutting out a strip of fabric that is twice the width that I need, and then just drape it between my 2 layers of skirt fabric, and then it should flow nicely and fall down the back in a little curve like this piece does. I also cut the ends to be a bit thinner. I close the slits by folding them right sides together, sewing along the edge and then pressing the seams. I also cut everything to be equally long. So the cowl is done and looking good. I'm really pleased with the outcome. The only problem is that now I need to hem the bottom and I'm not entirely sure what to do. I don't have that horse hair braid thing that other people use to hem gowns. So I'm thinking I might just fold in the raw edges and top stitch it really close to the edge. I might regret that later as it might not have that nice flow to it, but I feel like that's my only option at the moment. So here are the cups that I'm using. I just took them out of an old, I think it was a bikini or something, and kept them. So now I get a chance to make use of them. And they basically are meant to sit like this, but I'm thinking to tilt them. a little bit like so. And then I'm just going to basically cut in a little bit of a curve into this area here, make them a little rounder at the bottom, and then they should have that same sort of shape like Ariana Grande's cups do. That went better than I expected. For the cups, I'm going to be just tracing the foam piece that I created earlier, and basically just try to mimic that curve and those edges over here and trace that onto some fabric, cut it out 4 times so that I can basically encase this whole foam in the satin and then place it in the satin and create the bodice part afterwards. I'm really happy with that. They do seem to be a bit small, but I think that will be fine. I'm now just going to create this bodice piece, and I'm just basically going to trace these and take my measurements for around the underbust, and then basically just cut it out twice, line it all, create some pieces for the back. One of them will have to be a little longer so that I can put some hook and eye closures in. Then I'll have to attach that to the skirt and then we're done. that I almost completed the bodice part yesterday, I realized that these cups shine through the fabric a little bit, especially compared to these double layered bodice pieces. So now I seam ripped the whole thing and it now looks a little frazzled, but I am just going to swap this over again and basically sew it right sides together where the cups go in, just so that I have got no blind stitches to do and no hemming or any raw edges showing. And to solve the problem with the cups, I'm going to use 4 layers of fabric. So I am just going to get rid of those cases. I will probably exaggerate this curve a little bit as well, just because it didn't shine through in the pattern so much. Exaggerate the curve a little bit and then cut more of these patterns out. Have 8 sets of them and then basically 4 layers per cup, just so that nothing else is showing through and that everything is the same color. And then I'm just going to hem the bottom and attach it to this, attach that to the dress, attach a closure, and then we should be finally done. I can't wait. I've sewn the 2 layers of cups together at the same time, so I won't have too many layers of seams. I close the ends of the bodice by folding them in and top stitching. And now that we're finished, let me show you how it turned out. I definitely do see some discrepancies, but I also think it is quite a close recreation, and I can't lie, I'm a little bit proud of myself. This was the first ever wedding dress I made and only the second gown, and I'm actually really pleased with the outcome. So that was it, that was my recreation. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!